Zanar Nanar Nar Nar wants to know if you've ever danced with the devil by the pale moonlight.
Twice.
Mhm.
I only remember one of them.
Do you know what that's from?
No.
Oh, Michael Keaton's Batman. And it was Jack Nicholson playing Joker who said that line right before he killed Batman's parents.
Oh God. Well then.
Ruly THJ wants to know if a pizza is an open faced sandwich, true or false?
Oh, that's rude. That's just rude, really. Don't do that to me.
Okay. Waldstein, who just so happens to be the person who donated the last bit of money to make me lose my eyebrows today, wants to know, why do hot dogs come in packages of 10 and hot dog buns come in packages of 8?
This is a corporate ploy so that you have to buy 2 packages of buns. This is a known fact. Thank you.
I do like 2 buns instead of just one. Let's
Late
see.
stage capitalism at its finest.
So Old Man Raybook wants to know, Marmite, yeah or nah?
Never had the displeasure.
Ooh. Cronenberg wants to know, what's your go-to favorite meal?
Well, go to implies that it happens often. So like I have a favorite meal or favorite meals, but I wouldn't say go to because they're not like easy to do, right?
Okay.
Like my wife does this crispy orange beef that is just to die for, but it takes like forever. So that's not go to, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like favorite go to, if I'm like, man, I just really want something good today and I need something good that is also accessible. We've said it here before and I'll say it again. Public sub.
Mm-hmm.
A good chicken tender public sub. Don't get it twisted. I know there's been a lot of rumors circulating out there, but the way that it's done is chicken tenders, lettuce, bell peppers, banana peppers, little salt and pepper, oil and vinegar. There you go.
Carpe, he's not mixing it up. He's saying like what he said first. He said the one that he like loves above all else, and then the second one was like, what's the most accessible meal that he can get? Let's see here. Turtle Dragoon says, "Gentlemen, greetings. What is your favorite thing to while outside touching grass?"
I like how the verb is just gone.
Gone? Yeah, yeah.
There's no verb.
To do.
There's just
It's there. It's there. He meant it to be there.
whatever verb you do outside. What are verbs that people do outside?
When tripping and falling in the woods, what's your favorite eyebrows that is Tuesday with baloney?
So my favorite things change over time. Like, so for instance, today I actually had time to go outside with my son, went for a swim, and hit some golf balls. So that was lovely. But if you ask me next week, or had asked me last week, uh, just going for a nice walk on a nice day, get a little time to yourself, a little time with your thoughts. Just, oh man, I also like a good trip to the beach.
Oh,
Like not
dude,
actually
hell yeah.
like, hey, beach time, but like just sitting there, like toes in the sand,
Mm-hmm.
just listening to the waves. I feel like home, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I used to really enjoy I lived in Boothbay Harbor, Maine, which most of our beaches were like rock beaches. They had some sandy beaches, but the like home to me was like those harbor sounds and like the, the boats coming into the harbor and I used to love walking out along the coastline and hearing those sounds and all the like the water splashing up against the shore and the rocks and everything. Good times, good thinking times.
For sure. For sure. Also, you said Rock Beach,
Hmm.
and I imagined getting to listen to Chiodos at the
Ooh.
beach, and
Hmm.
that that's cool.
Nice. Nice. Going to the beach at night is peaceful. Yes. Amazing times. Don't go in the water though, especially in Florida. Actually, when I lived in the Panhandle, man, the sharks coming into the area at night, people being like, "Oh no, it's no big deal." Don't go in the water. Don't do it.
Yeah, no, not my no. I don't. Nope. Like
Uh
on land, I feel like I can almost handle anything, but in the water, I feel so helpless. Like there's only so much you can do.
true, true, true. Let's see here. Let's see here. F Mary Kill Warrior SK Pally. I don't know why these started.
We're gonna change it to K Mary Kill because some of you got a little last week. So um, okay. I feel like that's a tough one. That's a tough one. So marry probably the Pally, right? Like
Hmm.
that's the White Knight is who you end up marrying, right?
True.
That's just how it goes. So that's the Pally. The most fun time would probably be the Warrior. He's the bro. He's like his muscles are ripped. He's just like, I'm out there doing the thing, glistening in the sun, right? So that's got to be Kiss. And SK, they're technically kind of a little evil, you know. If you had the
Hmm.
chance, you're probably gonna want to kill them before they kill you. So unfortunately,
Mm.
that's the choice. Even though I lean towards SK myself.
Yeah, I have a totally different system for this. It's great. So
I
I
just like that we can give this so much thought.
I know. And where else could we possibly have these moments? We have
Wait,
2 minutes and 20 seconds left in ads, so plenty of
muscles
time.
glistening in the sun immediately cuts to
Because
ass.
so I I personally think, we fuck the Shadow Knight because evil is fun, and that's gonna be the most kinky bedroom times. And then I would kill the paladin because ain't nobody want a pick me, right? Like this guy is gonna be so dedicated and so boring. Like it's just gonna be like that's the guy you cheat on, right? Like who cares? You're so freaking gallantly involved. I want the ride or die bitch in the warrior. So I'm gonna marry the warrior, kill the paladin. Because the warrior's gonna fight for me, whereas the paladin's just gonna be opening doors and like laying down jackets and stuff.
Yeah, but the paladin knows how to lay on hands. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair. That's a good point. That's a good point.
This is the content.
This
This
is
is what everyone here is for.
okay. Let me get another. Let's see. Any chan? All right. Cronenberg says if I wanted to make he man, I think he was saying trying to say, what three classes would that be? He man.
Well, obviously, warriors in there.
I hate to say this, but is that not like warrior, paladin, monk?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
isn't that like
I mean,
isn't
berserker, warrior berserker
berserker?
monk. That's
Yeah,
a good one.
true,
That's a
true.
good one.
What's like He-Man pre-powering up versus He-Man post-powering up? Beast
Okay,
Lord
that's
could
fair.
also be one. Yep.
Yeah, that's fair. Tiger Pet got a beast lord in there somewhere. Warrior, beast lord, Zerker.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, I'm here for that one too. That's a good one. That could be a viable build too.
I was just over here. I was just over thinking we name our first build.
Right? Huzzah!
We call
All
this
right.
the He-Man.
All right. Let's now discuss the wonders that are these wonderful new patch notes. Or if you want to lead us into being serious now, I suppose we can do that.
Okay, we can do that. We can take a moment to lean in to real time, real time, and I would be able to do that easier had I actually opened your stream and popped it out beforehand. There
Ooh,
we go.
giggity.
All right. So we're gonna kick this off. So okay, before this starts, because I know there are some people that had some feelings. I know that there's a piece of each of you that every single time this Q&A starts hopes that we will have real information to share. When we have information to share and it is appropriate to share that information, I promise you we will. There is no other soul that wants to share about this more than I do. But there is an appropriate way to do things, and we have to conduct ourselves accordingly. So I appreciate you all sticking it out and just holding your breath with us. All right. I really do appreciate it. I know that's what most of you want to hear about, but when we can, we will. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and pop over to the change log. Do. Where are we? Do you know how many threads I have? Like that I'm actually like subscribed to? Like
I
our Discord forums, I think there's like I have to have over 100 open right now.
I'm sorry, and no, that's
As, as you
you have
should.
minions for that.
Okay, here we are. All right. So, as you guys saw, we had our first patch in quite some time. Sorry it took so long, but we've been heads down focusing on what needs our current attention. But excited that we actually got this out. So let me first just give a shout out to all the people that helped make this happen, because Kata and I have had our hands full, and so just a lot of really great things done by the team. Very very appreciative, very thankful. Um, so yeah, July 24th progression. Waypoints for the Dreadlands and Field of Bone should correctly unlock once a player gains access to Kunark. The waypoint for Iceclad Ocean should correctly unlock once a player gains access to Velius. Items, fungus covered vial is no longer flagged as lore. You're welcome. A recast delay of 2 seconds has been added to Amulet of Zuzel to address an exploit. Also, just on that note, it never ceases to amaze me how creative you all can get. Like, I love it, right? Like, who would have thought, well, if you take a mob that doesn't hit really hard and you pull them with you and you just hold them in a corner and you spam click your amulet until you have enough pets, and then you just roll those pets directly into a boss, you guys are just amazing. Amazing. All right. Spell, Spirit of the Leopard, is correctly seated on multiple Lucklin bosses' drop tables. And there's a whole list of them. You can see it on the changelog. Corrected an issue where spell Comatose Scroll erroneously had the no value flag. Spells, Bite of the Asp, rank 1, 2, and 3, now scale as expected. Mental Contortion, Assassin's Terror, Gelid Strike, and Time Siphon should no longer be reflectable. The AA abilities Never Ending Swarm and Shamanic Curse should correctly be modified by focus effects. I know that was awful that they weren't getting that effect. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Again, corrected an issue where the snare or slow component of several spells were not split into separate effects, preventing these abilities from landing on enemies that were immune to the respective effect. Necromancer, Insidious Retrogression, Bard, Silos, well, just a whole bunch of Bard stuff. The buff provided by Warrior AA Warlord's Tenacity is now a short duration buff that will be removed upon zoning. So you people stop killing yourself in the bazaar while you're AFK.
Guilty.
Quest fixed an issue where Zlandikar was unwilling to part with the key to Jaladar's tomb. Fixed an issue where several NPCs were unwilling to take trades involving currency. There were a bunch of them. Look on the changelog. Class spell quest NPCs in the plane of knowledge will now correctly accept stacked amounts of ethereal parchment, spectral parchment, and glyphed rune words. Love that. Class spell quest NPCs in the Over There Inferno of Eye will now correctly accept stacked amounts of turn-ins. It's no longer possible to change your name via the polymorphist or /change name if you were a member of an expedition. That was a rough one. So if you were in an expedition and you changed your name or had your name changed, you were basically orphaned and you could never, ever join a new expedition. And that was awful. And we had to manually intervene so many times. But that's fixed now.
Wow.
And it even tells you why.
That sucks.
Right? NPCs. Ralos Zek in Plane of Time should no longer cast a permanent version of Blind Rage. That was awful. Fixed an issue with Guardian Zephist attacking allied NPCs. He's less angry. A Crazed Miner, Bard Aria of Instant Quest, in the Torgan Mines now has HP equivalent to other NPCs in the zone. They had like over 200,000. They were stronger than a raid boss.
Oh, Jesus.
Fixes to Overlord Ngrub and Torgan Mines. General Bragmar in the Ice-Clad Ocean is now less prone to being accidentally killed by players. All you pet builds just randomly acing NPCs that need to not die. Environment, lots of fun things. Fixed an issue where doors in the plane of tactics would move you to open world instead of within your instance, which felt terrible. Corrected an issue where Karafin's Dome was not properly being removed when the encounter was triggered. Thank you very much, Mr. T.
That is amazing. We did that on stream today. It looks real good. It's so much smoother.
Yeah. The a lot of the environment ones are just a lot of great polish. Fix several doors in the Plane of Mischief. The West Wing series of doors now properly sends you to the garden. The doors inside the garden that should have taken you to the East Wing or Upside Down world now function as expected, which, side note, this means that people might actually be able to get to places that have not been gotten before. Not that there's anything particularly OP there, but, you know, it's there now. Fix several doors in the Plane of Justice that sent the players to the wrong location, including soft locking the player in the zone. Trade skill interactables in the bazaar have had their coordinates fixed. You can now craft without needing to click the ceiling or into the ground or into the wall or a random point just floating. I can hear you talking to me quietly and I love it.
Oh, it's because I was muting myself from stream, but not from you. Because I forgot that I'm also broadcasting in Discord.
I'm like, oh, he's whispering to me. Why is he whispering to me? I love this. Fixed several doors in Kazora that were misaligned. Corrected an issue where the door to the hole remained permanently locked. The gemstone in Blackborough will now teleport you to Jagged Pine Forest. Fixed various doodads throughout the world, which should have been animated but are not. Visit the South Quanos Lighthouse or the windmill in Lake Lululemon, for an example. Remove several objects erroneously floating off the shore in Plane of Tranquility. Rest in peace, Cragspid. UI, story window. Hyperlinks in the Paladin Epic Guide should now work correctly, and locations for the Fairy Guard and the Mage Epic Power of Earth Guide have been improved. Miscellaneous corrected issues with the patcher repository. There's lots of errors. In an attempt to address corpses stuck in world geometry, 2 changes have been made to the corpse fix command. I know lots of people are going to be happy about this. The radius has been increased to better address corpses stuck in extreme differences of height relative to the player. And the command displays additional information on using the default /target and /loot commands to select and loot corpses that may not be visible. So that was a big patch. And I know it wasn't, not all of these things matter to all people, but boy, there were a lot of people negatively affected by these things. And the fact that they are all now fixed, some of these have been outstanding for months and months. Really happy that they are all now fixed. So thank you all for, giving us those bug reports, working with us. That's another thing. So it's interesting who comes to the streams, who doesn't come to the streams, who hears things, who doesn't. If you see people having an issue with something, kindly remind them to just create a bug report in the forums. That way we can take care of it. And also, just know that when you make a bug report, you're gonna have to give us some follow-up feedback. Like, unless you give us just the absolute best description possible, don't just post a bug report and then never interact with it again, because it'll never get fixed. So
yeah, think about
huzzah!
it. Think about it when you fill that bug report out. Think about it like you're talking to someone who has never played this game before ever a day in their life, and you need to give them the exact circumstances and like I logged in. I was in this zone. I interacted with this thing in this way. When I did that, it did this. It's supposed to do that, but instead it did this. And when I did it again, it did the same thing. You need to be like really, really like Johnny on the spot with every detail, because it helps them track down the exact issue and be able to recreate the issue so they can fix it.
Indeed. Yeah, the number of people that I've literally had to ask some basic questions to, like, so what classes are you? What zone was this in? When did this happen? Did it happen more than once?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We get people who pop into stream from time to time. We had a guy today actually who's dealing with. He says he's being disconnected every 30 minutes. What do I do? It's like, there could be like 100 different reasons for that. I was like, what you need to do, and I pointed him towards the bug reports and to fill that out and make sure he gives as much detail, and also if he could find his debug file, send that to you guys as well. Um, you know, try to make it as easy, because if you're dealing with an issue, there's a really good chance that other people are dealing with the same issue, and you might find when you check those bugs that somebody else is dealing with the same issue and maybe they found a resolution or some other thing as well. So it really does pay off to go look through that section and post something up.
For sure. For sure.
Hell yeah, dude. So much great freaking info in there too. You guys really, I gotta tell you that the amount of like effort and the amount of work that went into getting all those bug fixes and getting all that stuff done is really great. And I think that the quality of life really speaks to a lot. I want to stand on a podium just for a brief minute and say, I've recently been playing some other games that are in pre-release, and I do feel as though THJ and the polish and the quick attention to little bugs and things may have broke me for all other video games. Yeah.
It's funny. I've had similar experiences. Like, I haven't had a lot of time to play, but like just trying like a new game out on Steam, or there's an early access this or there's that. And I log in and I go, like, I'll start playing, and oh, well, that's weird. Okay. Well, let me go report this. Like, hop into Discord, post a little thing. And then it's like, right, okay, I see this bug was actually already posted. and it's been this way since early alpha.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I am just gonna have to live with it.
and early alpha was like 3 years ago. Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah, that's something that I haven't really been like really up with, is that how long these games remain in these states now. Like,
Hmm.
because it's really interesting. So, like, before, like, in order to get into like early alpha, like, it was basically friends and family, right? Like, it was people you knew, and like they would get limited access in the beginning. But now it's like alpha is just another stage of like funding farming, and you
Yeah.
can be that way for years, and it's like, oh, well, all right.
Well, it's also really interesting, and I've talked about this in the past a little bit. Like, me having my perspective of like, oh man, I hate that idea. I talked about it today with the suppression, the buff suppression when you get dispelled. Like when I heard that was coming, I was like, ugh, God, what kind of uncouth savage would possibly want this thing? And then when it came out, I was like, I want it, and I need it in every single game I play ever, and I cannot live without it. Like it's broken me for all these things. Like I logged into a game that's having a big test this weekend, and I had to run around and I had to find the correct merchant to sell my items to. And I was like, you know what? I can't be bothered. And I just logged out. Just logged out. Can't be bothered. I, yeah.
Yeah, it's, and we've talked about this before, but throughout this entire process for the last few years, like so many decisions have been made explicitly with accessibility, respect for players' time, like things that like I need, like I want, like
Hmm.
I I am I am getting old. I do not have time for the nonsense. Like let's just have the fun, right?
Right. Yeah.
Anyways,
100%. Okay. Yes. Anyways, uh, let's see here. Sean Luke would like to know, love the vet AA system. Any chance that item XP can scale with the vet AA? Thanks for everything you guys do. Oh, that's an interesting
huh.
idea. Like make it so you level items faster the more AA or like veteran AA you have.
You know, okay, so maybe not veteran AA, but this is something that we've talked about for play modes.
Hmm.
And so when that time comes, I think that that's something that we will definitely try to leverage because that feels correct. But I hear you. I think the more time you spend on your account, your character, and one way or the other should give you some benefit to that. So you just got to figure out the right way to do that. But yeah, I hear that. Thanks for the question.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. Let's see here. Kali Sura, if you could add a new custom class into a quote unquote completely unrelated game that totally isn't THJ, could you describe it in short and what it would be like?
Man, I've got so many different ideas. So okay, Kat and I have talked about a lot of these. So okay, a couple different MMOs I've played over the years that have had custom classes. So it's I'll compare them to combinations of classes that we can kind of wrap our heads around, right? So like the idea of like a chaos knight, right? Who think about it as a warrior meets magician, except instead of casting like hard nukes, all of their casts benefit their melee. So like you can make your blade attacks do lightning damage and fire damage and frost, and each of them have special effects that can be procced. Um, there was God, what was it called? It was called Horizons when it launched. I think it's something like Historia or something now. Actually, I don't even know if it's still available, but they were the first MMO that launched dragons as a playable class
Yes.
slash race. And they had a class that I fell in love with, which was basically like you just buffed yourself a whole bunch and your auto attacks were like like just like doing all these different things and it was like yeah this is really cool like this is neat. I like this a lot. The Age of Conan Herald of Zotli also reminded me of it a little bit, right? Like you're a caster but you're up in their face doing crazy stuff. Chloromancer. Fluffy,
I like
yes.
that.
So okay, so now hang on. So Chloromancer. So if you like Chloromancer, you probably liked Discipline Priest during its heyday in World of Warcraft, of which I did as well. Chloromancer and Rift, I absolutely love. Discipline Priest in WoW, I absolutely loved. Uh, um, there were two from Vanguard. Uh, the Blood Priest in Vanguard and the Disciple in Vanguard. Like, I love, they might not be like the best at healing, but the fact that you can do a little bit of everything, like, I guess I've always gravitated toward classes that feel like you're multi-classing anyways. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
But yeah, love those. Love those. It's the same, yeah, battle healers. It's the same type of people who picked cleric, but they really wanted to smash stuff with the mace and only heal when they have to. like that was me.
Did you ever play Age of Reckoning, like the Warhammer and the Warrior Priest, which was literally a dude with a giant freaking hammer, and he was literally bashing skulls in that would heal. They also had the like Disciples of Cain, which are
Disciple
like,
of Cain.
yeah,
I played the heck out of a Disciple of Cain. People, I PvP'd so hard in that and was hated so much.
freaking great, great game. This has come up a lot today. Any chance you could change the drop rate on heroic dex augs in VP? The price of the dex eggs is too damn high. The Cakes wants to know. So the part that's come up a lot is just general aug drop rates, and that some of them are like sub 1%.
I feel like we just did a thing. Like, didn't we just do a thing to the ones from Bastion, and then
Yes. Yep. The
we did
lightning.
another thing for the other ones. Was it not enough?
Not a, so you touch some, didn't touch all. You've got
Really?
yeah, you've got some of the augs, like this dex aug that they're referring to, is a 0.3% chance to drop off like 4 mobs in Vishan's Peak.
I see. Yeah, that can probably be increased. Actually, so let's any one of my loving friends who is listening right now, if you could just make a note that all OGs should probably have their minimum drop chance increased to like 1%. Um, and then we can look at like what drop tables they actually exist on. You have a thread going. Of course you do, Castle.
Yeah,
I love you so much. Of
of
course you do.
course Castle does. Yeah. Oh, it's weird. This started yeah, freaking Castle. Always right on top of it. Let's see here. I'm just going to answer this really quick. Obese44 says, been on vacation for the last 10 days. Does Broken still have his eyebrows? No, I don't. I shaved them off today. We raised $4,500 for veterans dealing with mental health issues. And we've now reset the goal to 6,000, which is I'll dress in a full stream for, I'll be in drag with makeup and all. So yeah, that's a thing.
That is amazing. Good on you.
Hell, yeah, no eyebrows. If you want to see it, it's in Discord. It's in the selfies section. You can thank Valtstein. By the way, he's going to be losing his mod privileges shortly. Yeah,
I love, and then oh look, Acadius from the top ropes. Castle secretary.
What do you think about this one?
Um, yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right. Let's see
Yeah, this is
here.
stuff we've talked about that before.
I figured. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Comma 77 TW. Why does vendor in Baz still not pay you an item's true worth and then lies to you saying he did? LOL. So this
Is
got
it a
brought.
specific vendor or all
Yes,
vendors?
it is a vendor. So it's the little gnome under the stairs. This actually came up at another one, and Mihas thought it was already solved, but I will tell you, we went and we tested it out today. That little guy still tells you that he's going to pay you buku fat dollars, and then tells you he paid you buku fat dollars. But when you actually pay attention to how much money he's giving you, he gives you the wrong amount. Like, he doesn't give you what he tells you. So the vendor is set
first of
to
all,
pay. Go ahead.
it's a gnome under the stairs.
True.
Like, come on, guys. It's a gnome under the stairs.
Can you really trust that?
Sounds like a feature. I'm sorry, Kata. Do you have a new username?
Marsac 187 is actually Kata. No.
No, but really, so if there's not a bug report on that, please make one. And if there already is one and we thought we fixed it, please follow up and let us know that we did not fix it.
Hell yeah. Dolian wants to know, is there any chance there will be a teleport location added to sleepers? The run from Crystal Caverns is so dull.
You know, maybe when we can do more what would be cool is adding locations based not just on finding them, but on accomplishments and or achievements.
Ooh.
Like if you do something in the fight on sleeper, you unlock it. Like if you maybe it's a drop from it, maybe it's a I don't know, something. But I like that idea. Yeah, like I'm definitely open to adding more locations, but I don't want to just like put them out there. I think there's a lot of locations that we could use something like that for, you know?
I like the idea of like you beat them and maybe they drop like a key or something that grants you a flag in which you could then go back and just teleport to that zone.
Even if it so how about this? Because Sean actually has a good point. Seems like it takes away from combos that have skip abilities. You know, I like what we did for time. So maybe it's a consumable. Maybe it's just an item that drops that will literally take you directly back there. I don't know. I think there's something to that.
Interesting. Yeah, I think, I mean, if it's going to take you directly to the boss, that's one thing, like the quintessence does. But on the flip side, if it just takes you to the zone, you know, there's definitely a lot of room for discussion there. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see. Are you good?
Yep. Do it.
Okay. Wesker1213 Gaming, funsy sort of question. What industry do you all work in? Hosts included.
So I have worked in IT for the large majority of my life. I've done everything from bench tech to director, and started my own consulting company about 15 years ago. And through that, my most recent role was chief operating officer for a multinational manufacturing company. But I have since gone back to full time consulting, and that's where I'm at now. Kata is and has been software engineer, architect, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what we do. It's what we do. We as many people here, we young nerds grew up to be old nerds, and here we are.
Mm. I'm a retired parole officer, and now I'm a full time content creator. And yeah, I used to be before that, I managed strip clubs, and then I ran a jewelry store for a little while. And yeah,
Did
that
you?
was yeah.
Yo,
I've
okay. So
done some things.
one thing I love that I've never done, I love gems and stones and things like that. And I have thought like I want to learn how to cut a stone. And I know it's really done by machine now, but like I think I could get like that's something that I would like to do, right? Like I would love to like find like go out and like actually find like gold somewhere or like find gemstones and be like, oh yeah, this is beautiful. Like, did you know that these gems come from these places and
Hmm.
like you source some gems and you make some cool stuff out of it? Like that sounds super cool.
It is really neat. There's a lot of really cool things you can do. I don't know. Have you ever been caving before? Like
I
spelunking?
haven't.
I think I'm too old at this point, but there's a lot of fun and there's actually a lot of really cool things you can find in like sulfur deposits and stuff like that in caves that are just amazing things that you can't really see outside of those environments. Really, really cool.
That's awesome. Aporia's inner dwarf is showing. Indeed. Indeed. So it wasn't my first character, but my most played character was a dwarven rogue.
Nice. I love gold. Nice. Let's see here. There you go. I don't even know. Chia Dios? Is that how you pronounce that?
Jodos, bro. Get it right.
Well, you read it then. Jeez.
Hi, so you like Chiodos? What do you think about Destroy, Rebuild Until God Shows? Drugs. If you haven't heard them, you should check them out. He's trying to get me to do drugs. Same singer for both bands. Also, just wanted to thank you all for what you do. Love the server. You know, thank you. Number one. Haven't heard of drugs, but I will actually check them out. Love Chiodos. There was a kid, I don't know how old I was. Maybe I was like 17, 18, somewhere in there. I remember walking through the mall with my now wife, and I think I had a Thursday shirt on or something like that. And this kid comes up to me, he's like, "Oh, Thursday, great band, but they're not as good as Chiodos, bro." And just like, no idea who this person was, really uncomfortably close to my face, and was very serious about Chiodos. And uh, I have been listening to them since. So thank you, little emo kid that didn't know about personal boundaries. I appreciate you.
All right. All right. You ready for a hard one? Giggity.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. That type of heart is fine.
So hard. I feel like a major part of Shield spec so dominantly powerful is specifically the Night One-handers. They are so far ahead of anything else in the game, and remain so in Gates of Discord. Any opinions on rebalancing them or potentially bringing the Zeb one-handers up to their level so non-Knight melee based builds can compete?
So, a couple things. Non-knight melee based builds can absolutely compete. Um, just in different ways.
I was going to say, and are competing in actually massive ways.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing that I've come to realize, right? So there's this really quick progression, right? Like people join the game, especially because they're buying stuff from Bazaar and they're just enjoying their time and just smashing through stuff. And we get to this point where most people who join and buy stuff from Bazaar, like they will get to Luckland pop very quickly. But just because they're in that place doesn't necessarily mean that they are now at the level of people who have been there for 9 months, right? So there's this gap of knowledge, uh, gear, of just how to do things that makes it feel like, well, this particular thing is way overpowered or is too strong or is more strong, and so this isn't viable. When there are already people who have been doing those things for a long time, uh, that know how to do those things, right? So so I hear you. It is strong. It was given explicitly to paladins for that reason, and it was a great way to bridge that gap in damage between paladins and SKs. And pick choice, which by the way has leveled out since then. Um, so yeah, heard. But I think their non-knight melee base builds can definitely compete.
Yeah. It's a weird spot. It's a really tough thing to wrap your head around too when you're talking about 560 class combinations, and you look at one item and you try to think about it sort of in a vacuum, as opposed to like, well, actually I could mishmash this into, 560 different builds, and how would that apply into this, and how does that work alongside that? There's actually a lot of other weapons in the game that have insane ratios. Kel-Pilted Mace, has 120 base damage, and you can use it with shield spec if you want to, but you don't have to. I mean, there's lots of different things that with 100 hands and things, you can start really, really careening out 35, 40, even 50,000 damage hits. And I'm talking per swing, like one hit. Um, there's a lot of different things out there. Oh, my dog. But there's a lot of different things out there, and it's just sometimes thinking about it outside of the vacuum, thinking about it outside of the tiny little box that we put things through. Every build combination isn't going to have the same ability as every other build combination. That would just we'd all lose our minds trying to get to that place.
Heard. That was well said.
Let's see. Let's see. Ooh. Turtle Dragoon says, had shoulder surgery, can only use one hand for a few weeks. What class would you recommend for the easiest one hand play?
Slash pet attack, right? I mean,
Yeah. I mean, you could technically like build a bunch of macros, and you could just use one hand. Do you have a like a Razor Naga or a Dragon Force red, whatever this thing is? I don't even know. Impact. Yeah. Red Dragon Impact, which has 12 keys on it on the side, one handed. Get her done, baby.
yeah, I'll
Rangers.
be honest. So it really depends on what you want to do, right? Like there's a lot of classes that can be successful just macroing simple stuff. A lot. What would I pick? I don't. What would I pick? Okay. Here. I'm gonna throw a different one at you. So if I wanted to press as few buttons as possible, and maybe I'm not pushing like the hardest content in the lowest times. Let's say Shadow Knight for the auto attack proc taps, and then let's make those happen more often. And we're gonna do Ranger. And since Ranger is basically self-contained DPS, you're gonna throw in and this is your pick. This is where it goes. So it's SK Ranger. You're gonna do either Necro, Enchanter, Rogue, or Monk, or Druid. Honestly, SK Ranger X. Do
Oh,
it.
okay. SK Ranger X. Hell yeah. I'm just gonna pay some homage to one of our big dogs. This fellow right here. Kingly
Oh,
Kingly Crab wants to know any ideas about doing anything with nimbus effects at some point.
Kingly. First of all, shout out to Kingly. Absolutely love our Kingly Crab. He is fantastic. He and Ack are titans. Um, so I would love to do something with Nimbus effects. And in fact, I think we actually already do in the test branch of Dungeon Finder. Um, but that's definitely a forward future thing. But yeah, there's a lot of cool things that we can do with that. So Nimbus effects not only like fun things for players to get, but also used as cool ways to differentiate between different mobs. So for instance, in this hypothetical future where Dungeon Finder is out, and all the affixes and suffixes have been assigned to different mobs, you can't fit everything in the title because number one, it looks weird, and number two, it just feels wonky. But what if, depending on the affix or suffix, they got a certain type of nimbus to indicate to the player that, hey, they have this special ability? Yeah? Huh?
Yeah,
Huh?
that's cool. I like it.
Huh? Kingly crab.
I know. I know. Thank you for the sub, by the way, King. Uh, Ogre Castile would like to know, would it be possible to add Shadowhaven to the list of zones open from the beginning as a trade skill hub rather than having trade skill things like kilns in the bazaar?
It would be possible, but so a lot of decisions are made with a new user experience in mind, right? And I don't necessarily want a new player using Shadowhaven for all of those things, including the things that are available on merchants and some of the quests that are available therein. Uh, but I do appreciate the question.
Yeah, totally makes sense too. I got to really tell you, I refer back to that previous comment I made about I couldn't figure out which merchants to sell my goods to, and I got frustrated and I just logged out and haven't gone back. Zanar nanar nar nar nanar. Hoof. I hope you're happy. I mean, with all these continued bug fixes and work you're putting in, it just shows how great everyone on your team is. I just wanted to say thanks again. Also, happy 21st to VV. Wow, I'm old.
Happy 21st to Vivi indeed. But yes, we do have an absolutely fantastic team, and not just our core team, but all the volunteers. Not just our volunteers, but our community. Like it's really interesting, right, to see a lot of the influx of players that we're seeing, and some of them being a little hostile. Um, because of everything that's going on, but then very quickly seeing that our community is not like other communities, and like that's not gonna, like, we're not here for that. Like positive vibes only. Be gone.
And yes, everyone, VV is only 21. 10 out of 10. It's canon as of right now. We had a guy on YouTube ask this, and I put it in. Any thoughts on making Bite of the Asp able to proc Shaman Curse? Right now, it does not, and it makes my Shaman Beast Lord synergy feel bad. Thanks for considering, and all free or for all you do.
So I want every dot, including bard songs, to be able to proc the dot AAs
Oh,
from Shaman, Druid, and Necro. It is a bigger lift than you would think to make that happen. We actually, that was something that we wanted to fix this patch, but had to remove it because there's a lot there.
is the intention also for them to proc each other ever?
Trying to think. I don't since only one per tick could happen, or can multiple happen per tick? Trying to think through this.
I mean, either way, because it's a dot. So, like, if you, for instance, and I'm gonna put this out there, chat, don't hate me forever. So, if you have a druid necro shaman, right, and you cast, let's say, infectious disease, which is an AOE dot. So all of a sudden, you hit, let's say, 3 of the 10 targets you're engaged with. Those 3 targets then tick bees onto other things, which then ticks bees onto other things. And then those things with bees on them all of a sudden proc shamanic curse, so those slowed. And then they also tick cascade of decay, so they're healing you and dotting them.
I'll say this: if we can manage to make that work without like blowing up the server, I'm definitely open to that.
Oh, that's hot. I'm hard.
Right?
Yep. Who do I need? Convection. Come on, baby.
Convection sounds fine. So
yeah.
ink.
God, yes. Let's see.
Acadius's eyes light up. What are you trying to do?
No.
What are you trying to do?
Netcode plus. Get it rolling, Acadius. Come on now. Driznar wants to know, can Ranger's Hunter's Fury be changed from on non-trivial kill to combat proc like WOS? I understand that balance implications, but not having it up for many boss fights feels bad. Please thank the team for their work. What's WOS? I don't want to misspeak.
WOS.
Way of Steel, I think. Yeah. Okay, it is Way of Steel. Okay.
So I hear the question, but it really, so Hunter's Fury falls into that same vein as people having to play it smart to get Mortal Coil up before they engage a boss. I think you just have to be more intentional about how you do it, like purposely leave a mob up and then go get it and bring it with you. I know it doesn't necessarily feel the best, but I think if it proc like Way of Steel, which is basically 100% uptime, that's just a giant buff, like that they don't necessarily need.
Sorry, I'm hurting these evil pugs. Let's see here. The real questions. So if pizza's an open-faced sandwich, would that make a calzone an actual sandwich?
If the calzone is completely closed, no.
Ooh. It's just a fancy Hot Pocket.
Basically. I could go for a Hot Pocket right now. Just like a cheap in the microwave pepperoni Hot Pocket. That sounds lovely.
Calzone is a Wellington. I like that one. Back to some goofy stuff here. Have you really been far even as decided to use even go want to do look more like? That was harder
they
to
don't
read than
think
you would
it
believe.
be like it is, but it do.
It's already ready already. And then just on that, Carpa Nocturne says, do we have to put verbs in the bug report or nah?
Well, if you actually look at the current open bug reports, obviously it's player's choice.
It's a gamble. Roll the dice. Evens, yes. Odds, no. Let's see here. Fluffy Happy 87 says, sorry, joined at the end of the changelog reading. Did bees also get focus or missed or no?
I think they did also get focus, or at least they should have.
Yes, they did.
Yes. Fluffy Happy.
Of course they did. Death Star says, I know that things are in flux, but are most or all donations still going towards defense? If you can't answer, it's fine. Just looking to help in a small way. We appreciate and love what you guys have done to make this accessible to us dads who work 2 jobs.
God, that resonates with me so hard. I worked 2 jobs from the time I turned 20 until like 34. And I hear that. So I can't give you a full answer to this, but what I can say is that your support means the world. It is not cheap to do what it is that we are doing, but we feel it is the right thing to do. So thank you sincerely.
This is a beautiful question. That is also, yeah. Also, I would say refer to the Discord. Yeah.
Discord.
Nerd Navigator says, if someone were to say collect all the pieces that would be used to craft the Wind Spirit's plate armor, one of
Oh my
those catch up
God.
low level items, he really wants the glams. This boy really badly wants the glams. Let me just tell you, on test server, I was showing something off, and this boy was like, "Hey, can you show me? Are those items in the game? Are they like?" And I was like, "Listen, it's right here. See, it does exist." And he was like, "Oh man, yeah, that's nice. That's wants those glams."
Okay, just once again, those are okay. Those are the quests that are actually from the moon, right? Those aren't the LOI ones. Those are moon quests.
Those are. I'd have to look at that one specifically. That's a bard quest. It is, I think it's designed to be like a newbie armor quest, and the stats are quite accelerated.
If they are the moon ones, then those should be working. If they're the LOI ones from the original zones, no.
Yeah,
Nerd, you literally have my DM.
yeah, nerd. Quit being a nerd.
Nerd.
Grats on your 2 spirits of leopard on 1 emperor run. Yeah, so by the way, I don't know if you increased the drop rate of leopard on the actual emperor itself, but you know how many people I've come in and be like, "Oh yeah, man, I got two leopards on the emperor today." Like since you guys updated all the things it can drop from, which is pretty great. It's pretty
Love that.
magical.
Love that. Maybe what happened was that there was already a drop table that had it on it.
Oh, and it got doubled up.
Or rather, it was added to a drop table it already had, so it got a second one.
Ooh, hot.
Yeah. So like Convection saying he only added it to other mobs. So unfortunately, there's a lot of shared loot tables that you wouldn't think are shared. Maybe that's what happened. But we can look at it.
Yeah. No, either way, I don't think it's broken. I just think it's great. I think it's truthfully, I think it's better because if you compare it to things like Reptile, like it's more inconsistent with the drop rate now that Reptile has as opposed to before where I literally killed Emperor 44 times. I killed him to get the first one. And then I'm such a savage that I deleted it. Let's see here.
Oh, that's funny.
Benin Channel wants to know, while designing the 3-class system, did you ever make a character that was all classes just to see what it could do? Kata has that.
Kata, the day it was implemented, like the day it was and in fact, depending on his mood, sometimes he just gives himself all classes because he can.
I've seen it on test. I've seen him with all the classes on test. He's also like level like 512 or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Stream and Chef says, did the armor drops actually get removed from the plate cycle in Kale? Did it like 7 times without a single armor drop? Interesting.
That is really bad RNG or a bug.
Yeah.
So we need to look.
Let's see. We're literally down to like the last couple of questions, and we've got commercials. So we've got commercials
Well,
in
that's
2
great. I think
minutes. I think
we
it
weren't
works out.
planning on going past 9, and
Yeah.
we're already at 9:10. So we'll do the last couple questions, and then we'll call it.
Here, we're gonna stop the questions, and we will answer the 3 that we have left in here. One is really nice, and I wish Void was here to see it, which is Turtle Dragoon says, "Happy birthday, Void. What are you doing for fun?" Apparently, he's doing something really cool that isn't here. Makes me kind of sad.
Apparently, he's doing something really cool that isn't here.
Yeah. Shogun says, "So when does Beast Pet become a corgi?" Also VV related.
Yeah, that's a really great question. Corgi expansion coming soon.
Observing Oak says, "Has anyone already asked about providing more skip abilities to more classes, i.e. Ranger getting hide tracks, Beast Lord play dead, Enchanters getting fading memories?"
So if they, I could see possibly something like that happening if we think it would increase the pick percent of a class that is canonically underplayed. But outside of that, probably not, because in general, I'm actually very happy with the balance that we have currently established. Like it feels really good from most angles. So, but open to it if you know any class needs it in the future.
Nice.
But that being said,
Well,
that go ahead.
Real quick, I'm kind of sad. I guess I'm going to show everybody because Void was supposed to be here and I was going to talk to him about this wonderful thing that we had created. I came up with an idea. Raina made it real. Do you see in the stream this amazing little Blockcraft corgi? Our very own
No.
Raina AM made that.
Raina, well done. Raina, you need to hit me up. Me and you are going to make our own Roblox game.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Pretty cool.
So cool.
Yeah.
And he's not here for it. That's okay.
I know.
Make him feel bad about it later.
That's why I'm doing this now. Yeah. I was actually going to be really nice. I wasn't going to bring up pearl necklaces. I wasn't going to bring up pocket pool, any of that stuff. We were all going to be good and golden, and then he doesn't show up. So
it's almost like it's his birthday and he has people that like him other than us.
It's almost dumb. Like he has like people in the world who like care about him that aren't us. Unacceptable.
Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah, right. Just remember, guys, fill his parcels full of as many pearl necklaces in game as you possibly can.
That's right. Necklaces in the chat.
That's right. All right.
But
yes.
Anyways, friends, thank you all so much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all the kind words. Thank you for being here and just enjoying this journey with us. We love you all, and we'll talk next week.
Hell yeah, brother. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes another Q&A. I do appreciate y'all coming in. You guys are great. You guys are wonderful. Take it easy. No, I don't need to renew my driver's license anytime soon. Thank Jesus. You guys take it easy. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for your subs, donations, and otherwise. We'll be here back tomorrow. We're actually not going to be here tomorrow. Son of a... I have something big coming up that I can't talk about Oh my God. And I just realized I'm going to have to go to that meeting tomorrow. Oh, what have I done? Anyway, love you all. Ha. Yay. I'm going to like have to draw some eyebrows on. Anyway, yeah. Take it easy. Be cool, folks. Stay in school.